Yeah.
That's my biggest thing, like quality control. When my mom is buying at, let's say, the dispensary, first of all, I don't know if she would, like, how would she feel like going on the streets?
Right.
You know what I mean? But then having that quality and having the other part you said was the on that same note of quality is like some people don't understand with cannabis the growing process. I think a lot of people don't, and that's the biggest takeaway I had of being at that volunteering at that medical cannabis industry in Portland, Oregon, was learning the process of raising this plant. And there's a very important process. It's called flushing. It's toward the end of before you harvest, weeks before you harvest, you're flushing any kind of fertilizers and anything you might have used to increase the vegetative growth or flowering process, right? And you're kind of flushing it out. Some people don't do that. Some people don't do that because they want the biggest bud or most crystally. Like you have room for human tendencies too. And the person who grew your buds might be motivated differently than someone else. And so at the end of the day, what you actually, if you burn it, if you consume it, no matter how you do it, like you don't know. You don't know.
I just thought of something though. How about this? How huge do you think the organic market of cannabis will be, bro? Like, think about that. Like,
okay,
because we're talking about flushing and making sure everything's kosher, I guess you could say.
Dude. So look at look at coffee.
Yep.
I would say look at coffee, look at acai bowls, look at tapioca boba tea, look at these markets where foodies, just go and put foodie in your Instagram Explorer feed, right? I go to food because health, wellness, food kind of tied in together. And I don't know if you know, but like my family had a salad dressing.
Okay.
They still do. It's called Swiss in dressing. And I was at the helm for a few years. And so part of this sort of 4-year run while I'm handling this consumer packaged good in Hawaii, I learned a lot about physical goods, manufacturing, distribution, all that, right? And in my sort of wild like ideation phase, I thought, why don't I make a CBD or THC cannabis version of this salad dressing? Right? I was like, oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would.
Right? So I thought about it. At the time, I was like, whoa, there's way too much red tape, regulations and stuff like that. I can't even afford to do that.
Right.
But I thought about that picture of who would the person buying this be?
Yeah.
Is this person who's health, wellness, let's say even holistic, who shops at Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Like this is going to be on the shelf at Whole Foods.
Right.
And I got so excited with that because there was nothing like it. There's nothing like it, at least here in Hawaii. Probably at Erewhon or somewhere like, it's out there. But in Hawaii, if there was this kind of product that had basically the aunties who are eating edibles right now just to go to sleep would get at Safeway, Foodland, Whole Foods, right? Tamura's.
Yeah.
I thought about what that would look like. And it wouldn't just be salad dressings. It would be,
anything and everything. Yeah, I mean, you could make a whole store like Tamura's, just all cannabis or CBD's based products in that store. And I think the land of opportunity exists in this cannabis market. The thing about why we need to do it now more than ever is that there's all these conversations happening at the federal level for descheduling cannabis, as well as all of the expungement of records. We can talk about also internationally that, Thailand is just legalized all of these different places are legalizing cannabis because they see the value in legalization and the impact economically, socially that it can have for their nations. But also what we don't want to happen is that we wait so long that feds actually legalize it before the state does. State has no framework in place to actually regulate cannabis legally. And all these mainland corporations come in here under the support of our federal government and take advantage of all this opportunity that exists for our local people if we get ahead of the curveball. one of the things that I'll just kind of go into quickly is that one of the components that we're really stressing is the social equity aspect of the legalization market. How do we create a way that people from all walks of life, people who have got arrested for selling cannabis, are able to get into the legal market without all of the hurdles and red tapes, and also be given an advantage because we are legalized something that we criminalize them for, and we're doing it off of the economics as well as the other aspects of having support for programs and communities across our state. But that is something that we're really strongly looking at. I know we're looking at Massachusetts, Maine's model, and the last one is Minnesota's model. So we're looking at all of these different models, and we're trying to take pieces that we can put together. New York has some pieces and components that we can take and adopt as our own, but ultimately we want to use the best practices that currently exist to create this model, and we want to work with our own constituencies here in Hawaii to make the model unique to Hawaii itself. For example, I'll say our genetics for cannabis, right? How do we capitalize on the genetic aspects of the Maui Wowies or the Kona Golds or all of the different strains that exist in the legacy market, and make sure that it doesn't get exploited? Like if you remember Aloha Poke, where there was in the mainland trying to trademark Aloha Poke as their own and trying to cease and desist anybody else who had the name. So those are like things that we have to have foresight on right now, so that we get ahead of the people that may be predatory for this opportunity and try to make it where it's a win-lose situation rather than a win-win. And on that win-win side of it, the way we can do that in this legalization market is doing it horizontally and doing it in a way where we can have craft growers, we can have people who just do delivery services, we have people who do, Yelp or Weed Maps or stuff like that, right? And have those markets for those guys, so that you don't necessarily have to grow to reap the benefits of having a legalization market in Hawaii. And whether it's tourism and the hotels, like, Thailand, I was looking at, there's resorts where you can just, like, it's a cannabis resort. So, like, instead of drinking all day and getting wasted off of alcohol, you can literally hang out the pool and have a J and just relax and enjoy your time, and all legal, right? And not have to look over your shoulders and know that the quality and the protections for you as a consumer are in place, so that if anything negative does happen, there's a way for you to reconciliate, redo all of the things that you need to do for making it right for you. Kind of
No, well, dude, because like I said, I have so many questions. But another one that you kind of touched upon, but I want to clarify on, is what kind of effects retroactively will... Wait, see? No, we didn't burn before this. I know everybody's like, no, we did it. But people could be thinking, these guys.
Exactly.
We did it. But I just, there's a lot of hype in me that I'm trying to get up. What's going to happen to the people who have criminal records from this kind of thing? Is there any kind of retroactive action that could lead to, let's say, expungement? Or people getting lesser sentences, or because when it's legalized, it's you over there in jail because of this.
Right.
That's now it's just buying at Kmart, or there's no Kmart anymore. But is there any kind of retroactive effect?
So there's going to be a clemency program where it's automatic expungement for dismissed cases and minor convictions. Okay. If you're pushing pounds on pounds, you might still be in a situation legally. Okay. If you're not paying your taxes, right, and doing it the legal way, because there's going to be the legalization market, right? So there's going to be pathways for that to be able to do that. So basically, what we're looking at right now is that there's going to be a collaboration with the Department of Corrections, as well as our Department of our judiciary branch of government to look at all the cases. Of course, ideally, we'd like to have AI, do all of this, to be able to just process everybody's case, look at everything, and see where all of these people qualify to get out of their cases with whatever cannabis issues they might have had. And then, in terms of if there needs to be, for example, maybe a lighter sentence for somebody who is doing something, in combination with cannabis, for example, there's conversations around that. But I think ultimately creating I want to say a board or a commission where you have the different branches of government and agencies work together to determine who gets out, basically who qualifies for early release, whatever the case may be, to be able to do that in collaboration with each other, so there's no gaps in people getting out as this process is legalized.